Welcome back to Relationship Growth. Today we're talking about a piece of the repair process that you may be missing or doing incorrectly. And I can say that this is something I fall into as well, so let's talk about it. So when it comes to repairing after a rupture in your relationship, a big conflict, or when your partner brings something to you that they're upset about, first and foremost, using the feedback wheel is best. Terry Real coined this, and it is an amazing structure for moving through conflict. So it goes like this. You present what actually happened, and I mean just the facts. So that could be, you said you would take the trash out, and you didn't. And guys, I realize this is an elementary example, but we're going to go with it. Then you share how you felt. I felt disrespected. And then you share the story you made up in your head. And this is vital to word it this way. The story I made up in my head was, you don't respect me, you don't care about me, you don't value my time, you think you're better than me, whatever the mess is. But the reason we share it in a way where we say the story I made up in my head is because I am taking ownership of my story. It's my story. Because if you just share this, you don't respect me, you don't care about me, you're just blaming the other person. And we don't actually know what's going on inside the mind of our partner, right? So the story I made up in my head is, and that's where you get to share the mess. And then, this part's important, what do you need to move forward? Share the solution. In the future, I'd really appreciate it that if you're going to take the trash out, if you tell me you're going to take the trash out, you do it. And if you're not intending to do it, then just don't tell me that you're going to do it, because that's what frustrates me. And so we want to help our partner give us what we want, right? So that's why you bring a solution. I always tell my clients, like, if you're trying to repair and you have a problem with something, have some solutions, have some ideas, because it's really difficult to be on the receiving end of a conversation with no solution. It's really difficult when someone comes to you and they dump all these things they're unhappy about, and then you're just like, what am I supposed to do with this? So that's why you bring the solution. Now, here's the part that a lot of people miss in the repair process. If you are on the receiving end, your job on the receiving end is to listen. If you need more clarity, you can ask, questions to try to understand. I always tell my clients, you can summarize what you heard and say, is this what you meant, or is it something else, right? You can ask for clarity around what they are asking for, and then listen to what they need to move forward. And any part, a piece of that, or all of that you can do and you can actually do, you agree to, and then you end the conversation. So in that same example, if I was on the listener end of that and I heard my partner out, I understand what they're saying, I could say, I hear what you're saying. I'm sorry you felt disrespected. I'm sorry that felt disrespectful. I see how that could happen where I said I would do something and then I didn't do it. Moving forward, if I tell you I'm going to take the trash out, I'm going to do it right then. And that can be the end of the conversation. And it might be that your partner asks for a lot. Like, I want you to tell me if you're going to take the trash out. And then I want you to do it between the hours of, 9 a.m. and 9:30. And you might be thinking, I can't do all that. Like, I'm not going to agree to that. Then don't agree to it. And guess what? You don't even need to go into all the things you are not agreeing to. Focus on what you are agreeing to do, because chances are your partner is just looking for a little bit of something to move forward, right? It's that whole saying, shoot for the, maybe you'll land on the stars, or shoot for the stars, maybe you'll land on the moon kind of thing. The person who's asking may ask for a lot, but you only have to agree to what you can actually fulfill. Now, here's, again, the piece I see people mess up on a lot. The listener then, a lot of times, wants to bring their own grievance to the table. Because when somebody has something you did that they didn't like, it is very human nature to want to be like, well, you know what you do that bothers me? Your long hair? Yeah, it's all over the shower. I need you to start rinsing the shower out, or something like that. It's like, I want to stack on top of your ask my own ask. And it can seem harmless, like, oh, we're just asking each other for what they want, but it typically turns into a bigger conflict. It's like sandwiching things on top of each other. Deal with what's on the table. The person who brought something up, that's the problem you deal with. Get through that problem. And then at another time, separate from this time, not right after, bring up your own issue, because if it's a big enough deal that it needs to be addressed, you should be able to bring it up on your own time, not try to sandwich it on to someone else's request. And then the other thing I see happen all the time, and I am so guilty of this in my own relationship, is as the listener, if someone presents you with something that bothered them, they're like, hey, you did this thing, you didn't take the trash out. It can be very tempting to want to explain your intention or defend yourself. I have done this, and it does nothing but escalate conflict, right? Where you're like, well, can I just explain? I didn't mean that. That wasn't what I was trying to do. And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because you could have had the best intentions and your partner still got hurt, right? What's the saying? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I understand how that feels. Like when I'm like, I would never come from a place where I would intentionally hurt you, and I want you to know that. But if I start putting that out on the table when my partner has come to me with something like a grievance, something that bothered them, what it does to that dynamic is the person who came just feels completely invalidated. Like, you're not hearing me, right? They're like, you're not hearing me. You're not understanding what I'm trying to say to you, because you're not truly dealing with their need or lack thereof. You're dealing with your own hurt because you were misunderstood. So I've done this in my own relationship. It is something I am actively working on, because I understand that desire to defend yourself when you didn't mean to do something. But trust me, if you want to clear conflict quickly and rupture harmony, disharmony, it happens in a relationship. And if anyone else or anyone is telling you otherwise, they likely have not been in a long-term relationship. Because when you take two humans with our own way of doing things, and we're cohabitating and doing life together, there's going to be friction at times. So deal with what's on the table. Honor what you can in their request, and don't make it about you. They brought it to you. Deal with what's going on for them. And I promise your conflict is going to clear quicker, and you're going to have more time where you guys can enjoy being together instead of always feeling like you're working on the relationship, or you're always in this state of like walking on eggshells and friction. I hope that helps. And if you are a man listening to this, I have something very special just for you. I'm doing a free intensive called Undefeated, December 8, 9, and 10 at 6 p.m. Central. We will be meeting to talk about losing strategies in relationships, how your nervous system affects your relationship, what it looks like to lead a relationship in this modern age, because that has changed. And women, we still want you to lead, but it looks different than it did in your grandparents' generation and even your father's generation. So if you're interested in that, whether you're in a long-term relationship and it's not where you want it to be, or you're single and you want to be in a relationship but you feel like you just don't have the skill set to maintain it, please come. It's completely free. Click the link in the show notes to sign up, and I will see you there. And until next time, I hope you choose growth.